Do some conditional probability. Like I said, today is pretty darn easy, and we're talking about conditional probability. This is the notation that math people use, and P for probability. So this would say the probability of A happening, something happening, and this little bar is the word given. So A, given that B already is known. So if we're given B, we already know B. Already know B is true. It's like, yeah, we know this already. Yeah, it's just fried. All right. Okay, let's see how we use this. Turns out to be very, very, very easy today. Again, here's example 1. We do want the table here, and I have 2 questions. I use the same table, 2 slightly different wordings, but definitely take a second and copy down that table. We have plays a sport, does not play a sport. Plays an instrument, does not play an instrument. And for part A, I might write this using sort of mathy type of notation. What's the probability that a student plays a sport given, so that's that bar thing, given that they play an instrument? And I could sort of write it like that. Okay, I'll give you a second to copy that down. We want to know the probability that a student plays a sport given that they already play an instrument. So we know that these people play instruments. I think the hardest thing about today is just copying all the words now. We got 8 people. What do these 8 people do? Play a sport and an instrument. What do these 6 people do? They do nothing. All right. So, what's the probability that a student plays a sport given that they play an instrument? Well, we already know how many people play an instrument. How many people play an instrument? 19 play an instrument. So we already know, and this is the select group we're looking in, okay? This is it. There are 19 people that play an instrument. So if we know that, we're just looking in this select group of students, how many of those play a sport? 8. Done. That's it. Okay. All right, letter B is just worded slightly differently, and this is what you're going to see today. They're going to change up the wording on you, but we want to know it means the same thing. What's the probability? So I'm going to abbreviate that with a P for probability. Bless you. That a student who plays a sport also plays an instrument. What's the probability that a student who plays a sport also plays an instrument? What do we know for sure? Who plays a sport? That is the given in this statement. We got a student who plays a sport. Okay, and what are we trying to find? Plays instrument. Okay, so now the given, what we already know is that we have a group of students who play a sport. Ladies and gentlemen, how many students play a sport? 10. Right here, play a sport. We have 10 students who play a sport. So that's our group that we're looking in. We already know, select group of students here. 10 students play a sport. We want to know how many of those play an instrument. So how many play an instrument? 8. 8 out of 10. That's pretty interesting. We would, of course, need to reduce that, which would reduce to 4 out of 5. Okay. That's it. So it's just figuring out what is your select group of students. Super easy, okay? You're smiling at me today, and are you laughing at me, Brayden? Or just Brayden? Oh. Yeah. Or you're just like, yeah, it's super easy. Okay. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Example 2. In a class of 26 students, 17 have a brother, and 12 have a sister. There are 5 students who do not have any siblings. What is the probability that a student has a brother given that they have a sister? What is the probability that a student has a brother given that they have a sister? What might be helpful on a problem like this? A chart, absolutely. So we are going to make a little chart here. And we have information. There are brothers and sisters. So on one side, we have a brother or do not have a brother. And along the top, we've got people who have a sister and do not have a sister. And we also know some totals, which might also be helpful here, so I'm going to include some totals here. But yes, having a chart. We know that there are 26 total students. Don't really need that. Okay. What else do we know? We know 17 have a brother. So that brother is this whole column. So 17 total have a brother, and 12 have a sister total. So in total, 12 have a sister. And there are 5 students who do not have any siblings. So there are 5 who do not have a brother and do not have a sister. And I think that goes there. And so we do want to be able to sort of complete a table. Let's see. If I know that 17 plus something should equal 26, what goes in there? What? 9? Okay. So, yeah, 26 minus those 17, whoops, means we've got 9 there that do not have a brother. And we already know 5 of them, which means, what else can we know? Let's go here. What goes here? 14. Because 12 plus 14 should equal 26. Okay. Maybe we put little pluses just to help us figure that out. Equals. Okay, there we go. All right. And let's see. We know the 9 totaling up the do not have a brother part. How many go here? 4, sure. All right, 4 plus 5 equals 9. Good. And then we can go this way as well. Do not have a sister. We got a total of 14. We know 5. So how many go here? 9. And then what goes here? 8. And we can get that lots of different ways, right? 17 minus 9 is 8. 12 minus 4 is 8. So everything should add up just right. And if you can figure that out, then that's wonderful. All right, we are given, we already know that our group that we're looking at has a sister. So how many have a sister? Yep, there's our sister column. There are 12 that we're looking at. And how many of those have a brother? 8 have a brother. In just that select group of 12, 8 of them have a brother, which reduces to 2/3. Yeah, divide by 4, top and bottom. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So a little bit of making a table, but like that's it. The homework first one takes literally a minute. Okay. Questions for me? That's all I got. 11 minutes.